Hello, lovelies. So our last reading for October, and really also August, was more reflecting on behaviors that we could really address, things that we could tie up, loose ends to tie up, things we can address and get rid of, as well as really holding on to some patience through some challenging situations. And I really want to see for November kind of what that's going to bring about, but really more or less just to see what transformations are getting ready to take place. Any last little things that are kind of stinging that you can address and get rid of, behaviors that you can recognize and change, or self-destructive thought processes or patterns or people, as well as looking at what is coming your way as far as potential and potent transformations between now and the end of the year. Next month, for December, we're going to take a look. I'm going to do 2 readings for December. One is going to do more of a reflection type of reading, looking at the energies for 2020 and really just reflect on that, what happened. How can we take that energy and use that into 2020, and that's going to lead into the second half of, or the second reading, which is going to be it's going to be focusing on the resolution based on that reflection. How can you use that for what to look forward to in 2021? How can you, if you're able to follow through with all of these types of transformations and these challenges and this patience, what is that paying off for? What can you look forward to in 2021 in general, or even at least just as you kind of flow into the first portion of 2021? So that's the plan. We're going to take a look at that transformational aspect, more of a kind of a preliminary transformational point. What can you start looking at now as we approach the end of the year that you can start reflecting on, tying up, finishing up, and getting ready to just kind of prep and motivate for 2021. Okay, so let's get started. All right, Leo, let's take a look at how November 2020 is going to present itself by way of things that you are releasing, burden-wise, what transformations are taking place, and how you can bring more of what you want kind of into your present reality, okay? So things you might be holding on to are hurts that you need to release, or that, that might be stinging a little bit more, but you can kind of address or let go of. One is going to be regarding, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Well, that's really about some gains that maybe you were expecting, you were hoping for, that maybe were kind of a disappointment, or connections with somebody, or just maybe you thought something was going to produce or, develop, and it just didn't happen the way that you wanted it to, okay? And you wind up having to either step away from the investment, or it just wound up not coming into fruition, okay? And that's something that I feel like has been difficult for you to let go of. It could have created some self-destructive types of thoughts by way of, just kind of keeping your thoughts in the past, maybe regretting some situations, or questioning yourself, things that might not be constructive to your self-care and to your health. Things that you might need to recognize that could stop is the world in reverse. And the world in reverse is about something not working out, or a failure, or something that you've been just kind of repeating in your head. Maybe you've been putting a lot of this pressure on yourself, but more than anything, it's not letting go. It's not letting go, and it's not allowing you to transform yourself into what's coming your way, or what is better for you, because there's kind of a hold up here. So it's saying kind of, recognize that just is what it is. It's meant to be whatever it is, and kind of move along. So what area of your life is going through a transformation right now? Something that's an important type of transformation. And the King of Swords is about trusting your intuition. It's about, being, having a wise type of approach to something, being able to trust the counsel that you go within to find. All right. I feel like this is kind of a renewal for you, because it's a spiritual type of connection. It's a spiritual transformation, if you will. I feel like some of you are rising up in that frequency level, and you're having to leave people behind, leave situations, you're having to shift some things in your reality, and that's been tough. You're having to go through with it and move forward and commit to it, because that's what's going to bring you the reality and the life that you want. But you are having to deal with that transformation as well. And for some of you, that could mean leaving some things behind that you might not really want to and that are pretty uncomfortable. So how can you kind of dive deeper into exploring what you need and what you don't? So again, it's sticking to that truth of who you are, right? It's sticking to, you want something better, you're wanting to step it up, you have that self-confidence, you have this knowing that in order to reach this, you have to do this. And that's what you're trying to just maintain and remind yourself each time it gets a little bit more difficult. What you don't need in your life. Well, it looks like you don't need people and things taking away from who you are and what you are, and energy, money, and waste of time and investment, people kind of sucking that energy from you. You've got that beautiful, loving, and bubbly energy and attitude, and it's very easy for people to take advantage of that. But it's ridding yourself of that. And if they're meant to be in your life, or if that situation or thing or whatever's meant to be there, then it will still be there, or it will be there down the line, or when you're ready for it to be there, right? Sometimes we have to give ourselves some time. So what can you do to bring in more of what you're ultimately wanting? And that's exactly that. Creating order, creating the path for those things to come in. That's what you're doing. You're stepping up, you're being the boss, and you're creating your own destiny by paving the pathway to do just that. And you're allowing new things to come in, the things that are meant to be, that are up there in those vibratory levels with you, get to stay. And at the end of it, you get to see, this will be an interesting little transformation of what stays and what goes. And at the end of it, you're the one who's being rewarded. So kudos to you for sticking this one out. If you guys need to look at your personal situation, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, much love to you. Have a great month. We'll see you next month.